If you're looking to buy your first property in 2026, but you're not sure where to get started, then this video will help you. Hi, I'm Dan, I'm a mortgage advisor, and I've helped hundreds of first-time buyers go from feeling completely lost in the home buying process to picking up the keys to their very own home. So if I was looking to buy my first property again, these are the 3 steps I would take to get an understanding of where I am right now and where I need to go to then start going viewing properties. Those are checking your mortgage affordability, getting an understanding of the mortgage market as it is today, and then finally answering any questions and looking at the process moving forward. Step 1 is checking your mortgage affordability. Now, this isn't to get confused with how much you can afford on a monthly basis. That's a completely different subject which we'll move on to. Mortgage affordability comes down to what a mortgage provider could potentially lend you to buy your property. Everybody's mortgage affordability is different and it's based on their particular circumstances. What mortgage providers are looking at for mortgage affordability is your incoming, outgoings, and then your personal circumstances. When we run through this process with our clients, we have a calculator that we use. What we do is put their details into the calculator, and this will give us an idea of what different mortgage providers could potentially lend. It's important to note that different mortgage providers can lend different amounts. So you may not meet affordability with bank A, but you may meet affordability with bank B. That's why it's a good idea to work with a mortgage advisor to get an understanding of what different mortgage providers could potentially lend. When we're putting your details into this calculator, we'll be looking at things like your age, we'll be looking at your income, which could include your basic income alongside commission, overtime, or any annual bonuses, car allowances and things like that. If you're self-employed, it's a little bit different, but we usually take the average of your latest 2 years tax returns. If you haven't got 2 years yet, don't worry, there's still lenders out there that could potentially lend with just 1 year's tax return when it comes to self-employed. Then within the calculator, we'll need a little bit of information about your personal circumstances. Are you married or are you buying a loan? Do you have any children? Whereabouts in the UK are you looking to buy the property? Things of that nature. And then we'll also look at your credit and outgoings, such as your credit cards, overdrafts, loans, car payments, things of that nature. This is just a brief rundown of the calculator. There's a little bit more involved in it, but it usually takes about 10 minutes. When we press submit on the calculator, we'll get an idea of what over 50 different mortgage providers could potentially lend you for your mortgage. Most of the time when we're working with first-time buyers, they're actually surprised at the amount they could potentially lend on a mortgage. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you need to lend that amount because you've got to repay that, and the repayments could be quite high. So this is where we move on to stage 2. So stage 1, we've got an idea of what you could potentially lend. Stage 2 of the process is to get an idea of what the mortgage market looks like today. You now have an understanding of what you could potentially lend. You've got an idea of what kind of deposit you're looking to put in, and then we can put this into our mortgage system to get an idea of what the monthly payments will look like. Let's just use 300,000 as an example of the property you're looking to buy. So you've had an offer on a property at £300,000 and you plan to use a £50,000 deposit. We can put these figures into our mortgage sourcing system to get an idea of what different monthly payments would look like. Now, the term of the mortgage is one of the most important parts when it comes to tailoring a mortgage product to you. The term of the mortgage means how long you plan to pay the mortgage over. You might have an idea in mind you want to get this mortgage paid in 25 years, which aligns with you being 50 years old and you want the mortgage completely gone. We can assess what a mortgage repayment would look like over 25 years, and we can also assess what it would look like over 30 and 35. Now, important part to note is the longer the term of the mortgage, the smaller the monthly payments, but the more interest you'll pay on that mortgage overall. That's important to know. At this stage of the process, what we can do is input different figures into our mortgage sourcing system and then change the term and the product to get an idea of what mortgage payments could potentially look like. And this is what we'll do once you've had an offer accepted. We can tailor the mortgage product to suit your needs. So we can change the term, we could potentially change the deposit amount if that's what you wanted to do, and we can try and find the perfect mortgage product that fits your needs. So once we've got a basic understanding of the mortgage products and the sourcing system and how we can tailor the products to suit your needs, then we can move on to stage 3. It could be that you're already at a stage where you want to go and start viewing properties, and if this is the case, we could put you a decision in principle in place. This means 1, that you could potentially raise the mortgage amount that you require to purchase that property. 2, you've checked over the market so you know that the monthly payments are within what you wanted to spend. And 3, you have a mortgage in principle in place, which means that if you wanted to put an offer in, you could send that across with your proof of deposit and other documents to the estate agent to show them that you are serious. So this is the process of what I would personally do if I was starting out buying my first property again. If you want any help with your home buying journey, feel free to drop me a message or click the link below to learn more, and I'll reach out to help. If you're considering buying your first property in 2026 and you want more information of the home buying process, I've put together a free first-time buyer's roadmap that you can download from the link below. I've tried to pack this with as much information as I possibly can to help you along your journey. I've added tips to save you headaches and as much money as possible. Go to the link below and feel free to download your own copy from there. If you have any questions, reach out to me at any time.